let's try this one. How does that look?
That looks beautiful.
Well, what we're really talking about here is saving revenue and making sure that the revenue faucet never shuts off. So there are so many different things that can happen to your business that cause you to lose uh, time, really, uptime, and you probably have them all running through your head right now. And one of the things that we do is we keep your internet up and running, and we'll take a look at a few statistics here, how these things affect various businesses. And then I also actually have some Drive members, a simple statistic from there that will give you a little bit better, more direct feel for how all this happens. So uh, the bottom line here is, everything's going great until it isn't. I mean, for the most part, you kind of count on your internet being up because there's so many things that are running on it, and you may be working with one of these companies here, and then they have pretty good. I've actually done business with a couple of these. I'm with one of these, and I'm a former customer of another one of these. I won't say which is which, but one had or has very good connectivity and very good uptime, and the other one was a gut-wrenching nightmare. So some of you may be familiar with one or two of these yourselves. I've talked to a number of Drive customers that we have already, and they usually mention uh, one of these companies. So even if you're not with one of these, you expect them to be up and everything's great until it's just gone and something breaks someplace. There could be a head end problem. There could be any number of different things that don't really matter. All that really matters is that you lost your connectivity, and that's not a good thing at all. About 59% of US businesses are going to have this type of a problem sometime this month. And you think, what the heck is going on? Uh, who would have thought that that many people would experience some kind of an outage? About 46% of these get of these businesses are losing their connectivity up to 3 times a month. So you think about that, and it's just, and it always happens at the most inopportune time, right? So you're moving along and you got a shop full of people that want to check out and get their vehicles back, and the internet goes down, and you're left sitting there. 91% of global businesses, this stuff's going to happen to at least once a quarter. And it doesn't matter how large or small. We've heard some recent stories about massive, massive companies having major, quote, outages or problems, and it's just not a good thing. 32% of U.S. businesses will experience these problems, and it's a rise of 25%. So the problems are going to they're actually increasing rather than decreasing. You think that it would be a move in the right direction. Now, last month, what we found among Drive members that are RescueNet customers, 52.3% of everybody that's participating with us right now had a problem last month, and their RescueNet kicked in. So this is pretty incredible. And so what happens is it averages out to be about 1 to 4 hours, and they can be for a number of different reasons. You can see all the different list of varying times according to whatever the issue is. Anything from just little things that go for a matter of minutes on up to some of these things for real long periods of time. And if your operator happens to be doing a rebuild of some kind, it's a nightmare, and it will go on for a long period of time. The cable guys have to rebuild their plants every so many years, and these guys are just going through constant replacement. Not quite as bad in the fiber world, but still they end up having to go through these things, and then they have all these. You've seen the news, and this adds up to dollars lost for you. And let's take a little closer look at what the numbers are like. So if you take a look at medium and large businesses, these are the big whoppers. They can be losing $5,600 per minute, and these are real numbers. These aren't just made up. It's from reliable sources. But that's probably a little bit large for our conversation today. So let's kind of dig down a little bit and go to the smaller businesses. You yourself at this size can be losing anywhere from about $137 to about $427 per minute. And this is on the conservative side. Okay, so a 30-minute outage could cost you upwards of about $4,000, and that's really on the low end. So what happens is you're actually losing out on all these things. Your point of sale stuff goes down, your shop system goes down, inventory control, and all kinds of different things are just a real mess. And so what you end up in is, you're losing revenue every single minute. And not only that, when your customers are looking to check out and you're actually looking, you're trying to keep track of inventory on things, ordering, think of all the stuff that you're doing over the internet right now. Basically everything is going through that. And so it results in not only lost dollars, but your reputation suffers as well. Let's take a look at power. We talked about internet being down, but if the power goes down, it all goes down. Now, the power is a little bit better story than internet. You'd think that we'd have power outages that would be worse than internet outages, but it's actually the opposite. On the average, these figures are a few years old, but they're still the most recent ones available. The average customer is going to be down for about 5.5 hours over a year's time. So you may experience less than that, or depending on where you are. I'm in Florida. Last year, we had a couple of hurricanes come through here. My electricity, believe it or not, didn't go down more than maybe 20 or 30 minutes for each of those hurricanes, but my internet was out for 4 or 5 days each of those times, and that gets to be kind of a pain. So we're talking about internet and power. And so you're right. This is just something on the power side. You have generators. You probably have generators at your location. They could be anything from this big whopper diesel unit on the left to something that's very much more reasonable size. It all depends on how much you're looking to back up, but you're probably backed up on your power. But since power actually happens a lot less than the internet, the bigger problem could actually end up being your internet when these guys disappear on you out of nowhere. So the solution is RescueNet. And what we've done is we've developed a system that's actually ridiculously simplified. We kind of sit in between your internet. So this is your internet on the left-hand side. This is the way your current system looks right now. Your internet comes into your router, and then it passes through to your computers and your point of sale and everything. So what we do is we kind of slide in the middle there, okay? So we can actually replace your current router with ours, or what we could do is we can actually go in a system like this where we kind of sit in front of your router. Now you'll notice up at the top there is a little white box, and what that is it's a battery backup system. This system is outstanding, and we searched around to get something that isn't going, how a lot of these battery backups work real well for about the first 2 to 6 months, and then they start disappearing on you. This is actually a lithium iron phosphate battery backup system that is good for 3,000 cycles, and it will also run our router as well as your router if you wish. And so without you having to touch your own network that you have up and running right now, you just place us right in front of it. You plug your router into the backup battery system as well as our box, and everything continues running. Your tablets don't have to look at a different network. They stay on your current network, and everything is running in this configuration right here. This will stay up and running for about 10 hours, which is pretty incredible. A lot of backup systems, especially after you have them for a few months, they give you barely enough time to shut down your computer and you're out. And so what we want to do is we want to keep your systems running. You can also get some extra backup battery systems from us in order to power up some of your most critical computers as well. And those will actually keep those things up and running for numbers of hours. So moving along here. So when the internet does go down, what we do is we automatically switch you to the nearest tower, something that's not quite this tower, but it's looks more like this, and we keep you up and running. So it's constantly looking at 5G, and so when your wireline internet goes down, it takes about a second and a half, and it switches over to 5G, and you in your shop will never even know that you lost internet. And this, of course, is huge. And the reason that it's huge is that you never lose any of the things that we were talking about just a few minutes ago. Your point of sale stuff stays up. your reputation is saved. Your customers are standing there and you're not down, instead of that you having to tell them that the systems are down or whatever, and it's completely out of your control and you're kind of left, feeling awful. They just want to leave with their vehicle. You stay up and running, you stay connected to your suppliers. Your shop system stays up and flowing, inventory keeps going, and everything else that you have and you need to get going is great. The other thing that you ensure is your time, because if stuff goes down, you have to take all that time to go back and do all this stuff. If you had to flip over to paper for a while, then you have to go back and you have to put it back into the system all over again. And you're stuck there after hours or chewing up time from something that you'd rather be doing in order to get caught up. It's just a mess. And so what does this all look like? This comes in at about $99.99 a month. For Drive members, it's $89. And if you would like to purchase the equipment up front, we'll cut that down to $69. And it's a $600 equipment purchase. You do not have to do that. If you wish to go the other route, we can just keep it at $89.99 and you can just let it roll. And so that's basically what it looks like. One last thing I want to reiterate is, if you take a look at DriveShops that have been on the system now for a number of months, this last month, 52.3% of those had their internet switch over to ours for a period of time. And we're able to track that constantly. So we can keep an eye on that whole thing. So the bottom line here is, it keeps you up and running. It keeps everything flowing. It keeps your revenue going. It keeps you in all of your automation, everything that you have up and running. So it's just that we want to keep you with the dollars flowing. And this is just a very simple solution. It's very inexpensive. One ticket will usually pay for the entire month, and you can keep those dollars coming. And that's all I have. I guess what we can do is
Very nice.
I'll kick it back to you, and if we have any questions, we can go ahead and address those as well.
Yeah. Why don't we see if we can get let's see if I can pull up the Q&A. I'm gonna give me 1 second. I'm just gonna see if I can. No, here's what we're gonna do. I want to see if the attendees can actually chat. Are you guys able to get to the chat window? I'm going to also. And I've also used your reactions too, because I can also see you guys in the list. And if you want to raise your hand, I'll open up your microphone and we can ask a question. So if you could raise your hand, that would be really good. Let's see. Nancy has her hand up. So fire away, Nance.
Yeah, my chat is showing disabled.
Okay, so let's just do it this way then.
Okay.
So if you guys can if you want to ask a question, Kevin's got his hand up, so I'm gonna let him talk as well. Hey, Kevin, how's it going, my friend? Go ahead and unmute.
Hello.
Hello.
You could hear me, right?
Yes.
Yep.
All right, awesome. So, what's the battery? So explain the battery to me, the battery like backup, and the length of the battery life. And also, what am I going to save by purchasing it? So do you, is this like a credit card machine where I get on with you and I rent it for $35, $40 a month until I die? Or is it just like a buy at a terminal?
No, it's good questions, by the way. So the battery backup is pretty brilliant. It's actually 238 watt hours. And so I've actually done the tests myself, and I've been able to run 2 routers off of it for over 10 hours. It was like 10 hours and 5 minutes. And so it's actually a very good battery backup. What I did not want, I had people recommending just go with an APC type of a thing. The problem is they put those motorcycle batteries in those things, and they work fine. They'll get you maybe if you're running a computer on one and your power goes down, you'll get maybe 30 or 40 minutes on those things, and then they go. The problem is after you've had them running kind of in the background for about 6 months, you get about 10 minutes, or you get a couple of minutes to shut your computer down. They just don't last. So these are lithium iron phosphate batteries. It's a newer technology, and they have 3,000 cycles. So a lot of I run some ham radios and stuff like that and around here. And so what we do in that area is everybody's using these lithium iron phosphate batteries to back up. So when you have storms, you can keep all your communications up and running, and they last for hours upon hours. And routers don't really take but just maybe not even a full amp, maybe an amp and a half. So they're not drawing a lot of power. So these things will stay up and running for a real long period of time.
Okay, a couple other questions, if I may.
Yes.
By the way, KC1 TEP 73.
He was also asking, Kevin, you were also asking, I believe, on the rental stuff and all that. So there's no extra rental; it's all built into the cost. So if you want to take the costs from $89 a month down to $69 a month, you can purchase the equipment up front. You have it, you own it, it's yours, and then your monthly cost is $69.99, and that's all billed directly through Drive. So we're kind of partnered with Drive, and so it goes all into your regular weekly billing cycle that you have with Drive. So it's very elegant, it's very easy to manage, and it's all right in the same thing.
I did forget about that. I think you set that up at the conference, right? Is that what it was? Same way?
Yes. There were a number of people that purchased at the conference and started at that time. And so your Drive representative, just get a hold of your Drive representative, and they can get you all taken care of and put it right into the Drive system, and it's very seamless that way.
All right. So a couple other questions. One is, fire hazard with the batteries.
Okay. That's a good question.
And two is the building I'm in has terrible internet, or it has terrible cell service anyways. And is there an external antenna? And also, you mentioned amateur radio. I am KC1 TEP 73.
Oh, good. 73 to you. I am W4 TLA.
Thank you.
So the first question regarding lithium iron phosphate batteries, they're completely stable and completely safe. Lithium ion batteries are a nightmare. These are not lithium ion batteries. These are lithium iron phosphate. So it is a completely different chemistry. The ones that you hear the stories about, catching on fire in airplanes and all kinds of things, you can actually ship these on airplanes, and they're perfectly safe. You can, put them anywhere you want, and they're a perfectly safe chemistry, extremely stable, and they do absolutely nothing. They take an absolute beating, and like I said, you can do 3,000 cycles with these. In fact, some of these things, depending on your mileage may vary, they can get up to 4,000 and 5,000 cycles on these. But at the very minimum, 3,000 cycles. It's fascinating. These should, by my own calculations, they should stick around for about 10 years. Okay. And you should have no problems with them. What I did not want to do is have a product where you'd be calling me in a year and going, oh, I need my battery replaced because my backup isn't working right. It's acting up, it's doing this, it's doing that. Absolutely not. I wanted to get the best technology that I could.
Thank you. All right. So how do I go about doing this? Just contact my, who do I contact at Drive?
Yes, you contact your Drive rep, and they know all about this entire system. It's already in the Drive system as well. All you have to do is just add it to your regular monthly situation there, or weekly stuff, and it's all incorporated right in along with your other services that you're receiving from Drive.
Thank you,
Kevin. I'll go ahead and send your email to the appropriate person if you'd like.
Yep. And I just sent the webinar poll too, Kevin. So if you put your name in there, then it'll get over to the right people as well. You'll see, you should see that now, the webinar poll. I just put it up. One question.
I do. Thank you.
Yep. Anybody else too? Keith, if you're there, please feel free to fill this out. If you have any questions, Keith, you know what I might do, Keith? I might just open up your ability to talk. Let's do that. Hey, Keith, is that you with us? Because I think you're muted
How
too.
hard is it for a pretty computer illiterate person to hook this in their system?
Yeah, it's great. The instructions are so easy. It's about a 45-second install, and it could balloon all the way up to 2 minutes if you actually read the instructions. So it's pretty drama free. It's very simple. You take your, in fact, I could tell you right now, it's very simple. You take your source is coming out of like a cable modem usually, and it's going into your router. You pull it out of your router and put it into the red outlet in the back of our box, and you come out of our LAN 2 plug or outlet and put that one right into the one that you just pulled out of your router, and you're done. And you reboot the two of them. They talk to each other. The rebooting time is going to take you longer than the install. And what you do is you plug your router and our router into the battery backup. That way, if you have a power outage, we're backing up your router just like you back up ours, or like we back up ours. So both of those, it keeps, if you don't, now the other way you could do it is just simply pull your router out altogether and drop our router in and have all your stuff talk to this router instead. And either way is extremely simple. So if you don't want to do any computer nerding whatsoever, you can just place this in front of your network and it works wonderfully. Because what it's doing in essence, what it's doing is it's watching your wireline internet come into the box, and it's also watching the 5G tower at the same time. So as soon as the wireline goes down, it just automatically switches to 5G within about a second and a half, sometimes even faster. So you're never going to know that you were even disconnected at all.
Thank you.
Sure thing. It's great. What it does in essence is it guarantees that your internet's going to stay up all the time. And I have it actually, I have it hooked up right here at my house. We have a number of different customers that are Drive customers already that are up and running, and it's an absolutely wonderful, very simplified solution. Any other questions? I thought you had another one that I didn't get to earlier. I think you asked me 2 questions, but I only answered one of them.
Was that addressed to Kevin?
No, I think I got Kevin's second one. I think when you gave me one right after that, I think you gave me 2 of them together, and I think I failed to answer.
No, maybe the antenna.
One. Oh yeah, the antenna. Yes, thank you. I wanted to make sure that I got them all. It's the antenna that's built into this particular unit is an 8 dB antenna. It's a wonderful antenna, actually. It's ridiculous. And so in most cases, it will outperform just about any other receiving antenna in the 4 or 5G space. So that is a wonderful thing. We don't have an external antenna for this. Typically what you can do is what we like to do is keep it close to your other stuff that you have, like your internet, wherever you have. Usually it's in a closet someplace or on a shelf somewhere. And if you can put this close by, it's real easy. But you can also put this, it doesn't really matter because it's connecting up to everything else through an Ethernet cable. So you can put this in a more favorable location even, and it should serve you perfectly well.
You get a day off? Damn, you're lucky.
You have any more questions?
Well, depending on how much time you got, if you want to talk about amateur radio, I got all afternoon. But yeah, I am hitting you up on QRZ. I'm going to send you a email from that email you have listed.
Okay.
Thanks.
Good.
All right. Well, okay. I think we're near the end.
Oh, so that was Keith. That's QRZ, correct?
You're speaking with Kevin Reichelt from Stellar's Garage.
Oh, okay. What state are you in, Kevin?
beautiful Shelton, Connecticut.
Lovely.
It's up
Lovely
to
this time of year
40,
too.
40 degrees today.
Yeah,
40,
exactly. Yeah. We've actually, I'm in the Tampa area. We've plunged to 75.
Oh yeah.
That's rough. That's rough, Tim.
Yeah, it's pretty tough. It's
Do you have to like let your water drip at night when you go to bed?
Hey, I grew up in Chicago, so I have had to do that in the past. So that's I have plenty of that. I don't do that anymore though. So
Yeah.
yeah. So do you have any other
Exactly.
at all?
Any other thoughts or questions, people? Persons?
No, thank you. I did want
Lovely
to mention that I don't know how long ago the convention was, that a year ago now, probably, right? And I was thinking about it, I was hemming and hawing about it, and we have had both power outages and internet down. And I don't typically, I've lost power twice here in 30 years. Fortunately for me, I do have Frontier, and they were recently bought out by Verizon, and my wife is a mechanical engineer for them. So they're here fast but for outages. But yeah, I see the value in it. And like you said, for literally not too many dollars a month, it makes sense to have that, backup, because it's really not in a scheme of our environment, it's not a ton of money, so I appreciate it. And I'll be calling out and getting it this week.
That sounds great. Yeah, it's what we wanted to do is also just put this in no-brainer territory. I mean, you could charge. We looked at the market, and some people are charging through the nose for comparable type of services. And what we wanted to do is just put it into a space where, everybody can afford this. It's very simple to install. You don't need to call up your IT guy. You don't need to do any of that stuff. You just kind of plug the thing in and it works. And it's just very simple. And if you stop and think of what it's doing, it's looking at 5G and looking at your wire line at the same time and monitoring that the whole time. And then it just switches between the two. By the way, when your wireline internet comes back, it immediately switches back to your wireline without you having to touch a thing also. So it automatically switches to 5G and then automatically switches right back to your Frontier service. And I have Frontier here as well, and it's been completely head and shoulders above who I had. I won't diss on the other guys that I had on the slides, but I've found Frontier to be wonderful since I've switched over to them.
Very cool.
Anything
else? Thanks again, Tim, for doing this for us. Appreciate it.
Sure thing.
All right. Well, I guess we're done. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, everyone. Have a great afternoon.
Have a good day.
Kevin, I look forward to seeing you on QRZ.
All right, man.
Take care.
See you. Thank you.